Hello and welcome to the show today. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and today I'm going to do things just a little different. Normally I'm live and in color. I'm just now in color. I am going to pull from, as you can see, all of my emails that I get. I could just literally be covered up from them, but I'm going to do a real Ask the Hair Doctor session. So today I have a question from Kyla, and I'm going to go through her question, and I'm going to use this whole time to help you to understand how important her group of questions are. And these are things that's going to help you to go higher and higher in your um, strength and empowerment, lack of a better way to put it, as it relates to really managing your hair and scalp. So you see me, you hear me, and let's get right to Kyla's question. Okay, and it's important for you guys to email your questions, and I will choose questions that are broken up like this or that have so many questions within one big question so that everyone can benefit. So first let's read the entire question, then I'm going to go back through and highlight some things that'll help you. And this is from Kyla. She said, I've been natural since April 2011. My hair has grown a lot while I've been wearing a wig. Now I wear my afro or afro puff when I go places, but I notice that it hasn't grown much lately. My hair's my mom says it's the resting phase of the hair that causes it not to grow as much. I believe it's because I've never gotten a haircut or trim before. I take my vitamins and biotin every day. I moisturize my hair with oil every day. And I wash my hair every week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. Plus, I sometimes flat iron my hair to add length. I know that's bad. What do you think it is? Should I get my hair cut? Now, Kyla's loaded here. What she did was just dumped everything she could think of at that moment right on this page, and she really did like a little synopsis of it, and it's pretty good. But the thing is, she's in so many different directions, and the reason I wanted to do this video, because one question may not have anything to do with the other, so the answers will be very different, and most of the time we tend to group all of these things together. So let's go through and highlight some points. She said, I've been natural since April 21. I would say yay to that, but that's not a problem, or it's not something we need to make a point of. She said, my hair has grown a lot. That's very good. I've been wearing a wig. So what I want to do is I want to highlight I've been wearing a wig. So let's go over here and let's get this part here. I've been wearing a wig. And I think we could add, my hair has grown a lot as well. So let me do it this way. And we're just going to highlight that. Oops. We'll go into our highlighter and we'll highlight that yellow. And then she said, now I wear my afro or afro puff when I go places. I think that's going to be important too, and I'll tell you why. My afro puff when I go places. So we're going to highlight that as well. But I've noticed that my hair hasn't grown much lately. And we're going to notice hair that I noticed that it hasn't grown, which she would mean here. She noticed it has not grown lately, hasn't grown lately. We're going to highlight that one. And then she said, my mom says my hair is in the resting phase. And I'm kind of adding some words, but this is what she means, resting hair. And we're going to highlight that. And she said that's causing it not to grow much. And we're just going to put those together. Okay. And then she went on to say, I believe it's because I believe it, and I think she's trying to say she believed what her mom is saying, because I've never gotten a haircut. She's not gotten a haircut or trim before. Haircut or trim. Never got a haircut. but she's the same length. We're going to highlight that one as well. And then she goes on to say, I take multivitamins and biotin every day. So she's taking her vitamins. Very good. And then she says that I moisturize my hair with oil every day. She says she's moisturizing her hair every day. And then she says, and I wash my hair every week or every 2 weeks. Okay. We'll talk about that. I'll mention it a little bit, but that's not, yeah, that's important. I wash. Okay. All right. If nothing more but to correct her on some things. We wash clothes, we shampoo hair. You knew that was coming, didn't you? And then she said, I sometimes flat iron my hair to add length. And she says she knows that's bad. So we're going to say that here. And then she asked, should I get trim or cut? That was another one. Okay, so most of this, that's why I said it's packed with good stuff because she doesn't understand a lot of these things, and that's what I'm going to help her. Let's start with the first one, that my hair has grown a lot while I was wearing a wig. So her hair and her mind grew while she was wearing a wig. So let's address that. When you wear a wig or protective styles, you can obtain length. Your hair grows from the scalp. You obtain length from the shaft hair strand. So if her hair seems longer, that means she obtained length. I'm not spinning my words. You grow from the scalp, from your follicle, and you obtain length from the shaft. The reason her hair obtained length because she was completely covering up her hair. She probably had it braided down. I'm just kind of reading through the lines, but she did not wear her hair out. So her hair was able to obtain length. Okay, now she said, now I wear my afro when I go places. Now she wears her afro. She was wearing a wig. Now she wears her afro puff. So now she's wearing her hair out. Keep those two things in mind because they're very important. The other one is, but I have noticed that my hair isn't growing much lately. Now her hair grew in her mind while she was wearing the wig. It didn't grow while she was wearing her afro puff. So what does that tell you? Obtaining length, not obtaining length. So during the time that she was wearing her wig or her protective style, she was obtaining length. During the time that she was using her afro puff, wearing an afro puff, she was not obtaining length. You see? So what was happening with her strand that was different? Okay, her mom thought it was in the resting phase. The resting phase is a part of the growth cycle. It's the catagen phase. You have telogen, which is shedding. You have catagen, which is resting, and anagen, which is growing. Not in that order. You grow, you rest, and then you shed. So that's what her mom believed. Her hair is just resting. That's the reason it's not growing, because it's resting. Well, was it resting while she was wearing the wig? It's only resting when she's wearing the afro puff. I want to make you guys think about what's happening here. Then she says she believes her mom because she never got a cut or trim before. So if her hair is not getting longer, then why is her hair must be in a resting phase like her mom says in her mind. Well, let me explain to you. The hair is in a resting phase for only a few weeks, and then the growth cycle starts again. So that's not it. Also, if she was wearing a afro puff and she was wearing a wig, at this point something must have been happening with the shaft. She was probably breaking. So she's breaking almost as fast as she's growing, so she won't see length. So she'll think her hair is not growing, but her hair is growing, because if her hair was still in the resting phase, she would have bald spots all over her head. Because when the hair, you remember the growth stage, anagen, catagen resting, and telogen shedding. So when it sheds, it has to start back over in the growth. But if it never gets out of the resting, it's never going to shed, okay? So the hair is just going to sit there in the follicle and not shed. But it's out of the resting. She goes into the shedding, and then the growth starts again. If not, she would not have that line of difference or demarcation where her hair is actually, her new growth is there. And I can't see all that, so I'm guessing. But I will say this, I'm just making an educated guess. But I will say this, if her hair in fact was in the resting stage, then the hair that was sitting on, just hanging in the follicle ready to shed, would fall off, and then she would have a bald spot. So if she doesn't have a bald spot, the hair is actually growing. Then she said, I take my vitamins. Vitamins help with the way the follicle functions. If you have hair above the scalp, then most cases you really don't need vitamin. So the follicle will function and grow hair. If the hair is growing above the scalp, your follicle is functioning. In most cases, that's important to have the quality of and keep your follicle healthy, but it's not the most important thing, okay? All right, then she goes on to say, and just understand you can take your vitamins, don't stop that. I moisturize my hair every day with oil. First, you don't moisturize with oil, you oil with oil, you moisturize with moisturizers. Oil is going to seal in the moisture. So that's important, but it's not going to be what's going to help her attain length. She said, I shampoo every week and sometimes every 2 weeks. That's important to shampoo and deep condition every week inside of 7 days. Real shampoo, clarifying the hair, pH 4.5 to 5.5, real conditioner, protein and moisture for strength and for softness. So you want to moisture for, protein for strength and moisture for hydration. I sometimes use a flat iron to obtain length. That's going to stretch out the curl pattern, not a problem, long as you protect the hair. And we'll talk more about that. And you can look at some of my videos on flat iron. And then she wants to know, should I trim the hair? That's really like a trim or cut. That's like a contradiction. If you cut it away, then you're losing length. So let's sum it up and see what Kyla should be doing. First, let's do our takeaways. First, we want to establish that Kyla's hair is growing, okay? Because if not, she'd have what? As I said, bald spots. All right, resting stage, it's not in the resting phase, because if it was in the resting phase, again, she would have the bald spots because that natural hair would shed off and it would just be a hole there where the hair was. Okay, and eventually enough of those happen, she creates bald spots. Cutting the hair is a contradiction. If what helped me to understand is that she says she does not cut her hair, and so that means she's not cutting the length away, so it must be breaking. And then the biotin, she uses those biotin and multivitamins, important for the health of the follicle and the health of the body, but it is not going to help you obtain length. You obtain length from how you treat your hair. So here's Kyla, and I mentioned some other things. Trimming, you shouldn't trim. That is not important that you trim. Flat iron is fine long as you use heated tools properly. Now, let's the big formula of what Kyla needs to do. Number one, Kyla, you need to make sure that you're shampooing and deep conditioning inside of 7 days, as I said earlier. Then lastly, you need to take care of your ends every day. You get length from your ends, so you want to make sure each night before you go to bed, you want to smooth your, I have a product called Hair Vitamin, a leave-in conditioner. Then you want to not comb at them, but you want to take your forefinger and thumb, and then you want to apply a moisturizer, and then you want to seal it with the oil, section at a time. Work through that hair. As you see my hair, you want to go from ear to ear, front to back, to make it all the way to the opposite side. And then you want to smooth it back and twist it down and tuck the ends. And that's what I have to say for Kyla. Kyla, thank you so much. Everybody, remember, send your questions, and I may do the same with your question. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. To God be the glory in Jesus. I'll see you next time right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. And remember, I'm still going to show my face other than my photo. All right, God bless you.